What grows together goes together. Today I'm making one of my favorite things, a cheese board. It's special because we just got done producing a short documentary with Oregon Public Broadcasting about the incredible cheese we have here in Oregon. So I'm making a little board to celebrate. I'm starting with Rogue's Caveman Blue. Rogue won Best Cheese in the World in 2019 for their Rogue River Blue, infuriating the Europeans, which I find hilarious. Rogue's been around since the 1930s and started making blue cheese in the 40s, when the company's owner, Tom Vella, somehow convinced blue cheesemakers in Roquefort, France, to let him take some of the cultures back to the States with him. Since cultures are living things, they've evolved to adapt to the Oregon environment. So when we talked to Marguerite from Rogue, she mentioned the old phrase, what grows together goes together, and recommended we pair the cheese with pear, some honey, and maybe hazelnuts. Next, I'm putting Don Froilan's Wakan Cheese on the board. Francisco Ochoa learned how to make cheese from his father Froilan. Living in Oregon and as immigrants from Mexico, they had a hard time finding the kinds of regional cheeses they had access to in Mexico. So Froilan started making and selling cheese to other folks in the area. His son, Francisco, along with Francisco's wife, Lisa, now own Don Froilan, where they make regional styles of Mexican cheese, including this Oaxacan style, which won an award for Best String Cheese at the American Cheese Society Awards 2 years in a row. They mentioned it's great for using on things like quesadillas or nachos, but it's so tasty, why should it not be on a cheese board? I'm going to include this pineapple and pepper jelly to go with it. You can't talk about Oregon cheese without talking about Tillamook. This is their Maker's Reserve cheddar from 2014. When we talked to Jill in R&D, she also mentioned what grows together goes together and pointed to the flavors of the Pacific Northwest coast as being essential to Tillamook cheese. She loves grilled or barbecued oysters with melted cheddar on top, so I got the smoked tinned mussels to go with the cheese. Last, this is Bergeza from Helvetia Creamery, a tiny cheese operation based out of Helvetia, Oregon. It's this man Dave, the fourth generation of the Grossen family, that's been living and dairy farming on the same farm since his family immigrated here from Switzerland in the early 1900s. He has 4 cows and produces Swiss Alpine cheeses before he goes to his day job as a mechanical engineer. When we went to the farm, he told us that one of his favorite ways to eat the cheese is a traditional smoked sausage that his family makes every year, where they put the cheese in the sausage. He very kindly shared some of this with us, and it was so good. We don't have that, but I did get this smoked German bologna to go with it. That's my Oregon cheese board. You can watch the short doc that we did on YouTube on the OPB Super Abundant page, or listen to a more in-depth version of the story on the OPB Evergreen podcast May 5th.